Hi guys, I'm just gonna get right down to it. This video is going to be about common grammar mistakes that people either never learned were wrong or have forgotten sometime since their 11th grade English teacher told them. The first term that I'm going to teach you is eggcorn. Now this is a term that linguists use to, let me read the definition. A substitution of a word or phrase for a word or words that sound similar or identical. So eggcorn sounds like eggcorn. First one, intensive purposes. You mean intents and purposes. This one is just using a more common homophone for the word you actually mean. So if people say piqued or piqued my interest, what they really mean is piqued with an IQU. This is also using a similar sounding common word for the correct uncommon word. A mute point? No, moot point. Now when you say could've or would've or should've, it sounds like could of, but it's really a contraction meaning could have. And some more homonym confusing ones. Baited breath. You don't mean like a fishing bait where you put the worm on the hook and that's the bait. You mean baited breath. And this one, bear in mind, you don't mean naked, you mean bear as in carry. Now for some commonly confused words. So who versus that. Who is for people, that is for other nouns. So you don't say, I have a friend that I can trust, unless that friend is a lightsaber. You say, I have a friend who I can trust, if your friend is, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi or something. Who versus whom. Whom is not the more proper version of who. You don't just use it to sound academic. You use it when what you're talking about is in the accusative or genitive case. If it's in the nominative case, you use who. The way to tell which one is correct is to replace the who or whom in your sentence with he or him. If him works, you can use whom. If he works, you use who. So if you have a sentence like, with whom do the Ewoks fight? You change it to the Ewoks fight with he? No, the Ewoks fight with him. So you can use whom. With whom do the Ewoks fight? But if you have a sentence like, whom lives on Dagobah, you say he, him lives on Dagobah, he lives on Dagobah. So, who lives on Dagobah? Or, if you actually are Yoda, lives on Dagobah, he does. Affect and effect. They're both said effect. Affect with an A is a verb meaning to change the outcome. Effect is a noun that means the result of something. There is the verb effect, which means to bring about a change, but don't use this. It either sounds like you're being really pretentious or that you don't know how to use the noun effect, and either way you don't want that to come across in your writing. Then versus then. Then is used when something follows something else. So Darth Vader unveiled the Death Star and then blew up Alderaan. Then is used when you're comparing things, as in Luke Skywalker is more upset about the identity of his father than I am. And finally, two abbreviations that are often confused. E.g. and I.e. Use e.g. when you mean for example and then list a specific example. Use i.e. when you mean that is and clarify or restate the previous thought. And finally, a few things that you should probably avoid in academic writing but are fine in normal grammar, and I feel that academic grammar should accept what English speakers have done. So split infinitives. People say you shouldn't do a split infinitive, and this harkens back to Latin when infinitives couldn't be split because they were one word. So why should we follow this rule in English? Because tradition. So don't say stuff like to boldly go where no man has gone before. Phrase final prepositions. This probably also is a rule from Latin. So this is stuff like don't put the to or for or about at the end of a sentence, like I wonder what R2-D2 is talking about. And here's my personal favorite of things that prescriptivists say you should not do, but that grammar has kind of moved on. So singular, they, them, their. So this is when you have like a gender neutral thing that is singular, and then you need to talk about it, but you don't want to use awkward he or she, or you don't want to use gender neutral he, so you say they or them or their. This is accepted in formal British English, but not in academic American English. So avoid it if possible, probably by pluralizing whatever the antecedent was. So if you have something like, every Jedi needs to build their own lightsaber, you can say stuff like, all Jedis, see plural, need to build their own lightsabers. Plural. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this little grammar lesson, and Kayla, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!